Okay, this is back on the hoist again. I have hours and hours of videos I need to post on the repairs I've done to this thing. It does have almost 200,000 miles on it, and most of these repairs are known to Ford and the rest of the world. What I just had happen was in the middle of not in the middle, about 60 miles into a 450-mile trip, and this thing right here locked up solid on me. I mean solid. Pull you right across the road. Just smoke coming out of it. I drove it for about quarter mile, half mile, and maybe a little more. And I was trying to determine, is this like a brake issue or do I have a tire going flat? Pulled over. That's when I saw the smoke coming out. Now, I'll pull this wheel off and I'll show you what I did to get this caliper unstuck, that it allowed us to do the rest of the trip. But now it's time to tackle this job. And I'm going to I think it's one or two things. It could be three things. The last person that did a brake job on this was in Arkansas. Now, if you see the front cover video I'm going to do, you'll understand that this dude is mentally incompetent. Now, if it's the same guy that did the tensioner job on that front cover, I'm almost guaranteeing that when he took the caliper slides off, he did not clean the rust off on the slides underneath it, and it caused the pad to bind. Or I've got a bad flex line. Some material got in to the caliper, and when it went to retract, it blocked up the hole. Or these have plastic pistons that are known to crack. Either way, it's turning now. So the trick I did fixed it, but now it's time to properly repair it. Hey, this is what I did to get it unstuck. I didn't have a hammer in the car, but I had a pair of vice grips. I clipped them onto the leaf spring, and I turned the wheel into it, and it pushed the pistons or the caliper out far enough to where it collapsed the pistons and it released the load. Now I'm looking at this right now. This is in farther here than it is at the top. So I know it's cocked in there right now. And if you can see, that thing got toasty hot. You can see the glue just baking or burning off of it. Maybe we do have a piston problem, but let me get it apart and we'll see. Yeah, that cough is from cutting up firewood. And it sucks, let me tell you. I've been gargling up oak dust for the last 5 days. Well, not on too tight. Whoever put it back together did not use Loctite, but that's fine. I usually use anti-seize anyways. I know there's theories about that, but I've been doing it for 50 years. Okay. Man, this got hot. You didn't even see up here. It was cooking it there. Oh, look. Hey, I just found the problem. That line's coming apart. Let me get that caliper off. It was the brake line, I'm pretty sure. I'm still not going to rule out other things. Come on over there. Come on. Whew. It does not want to come off. Them pistons are, let me try prying on it a little bit. Do they have the stock pistons or not? That's another story. Well, they look rusty. Boy, that thing's on there. I need a bigger pry bar. Man, this does not want to come off. I've never had one this bad before. It's definitely because the piston's being held up. I guarantee it. Come on off of there. Oh, that's cooked right to the piston. That pad is. The pad's trying to come off too. See if I can get in behind this and pry that piston in a little bit. I'm definitely going to be putting a new caliper on this. That's for sure. That should come off now. There we go. Are they plastic? No, they're steel. These have been replaced. But, whew, this is baked. Yeah, man, they're actually still good. I cannot believe as hot as that got. So let's pull this off, the caliper slide, and see if he cleaned up underneath that. And everything is being a pain on this. Nothing's wanting to come off. And no, I don't think he did. That's part of the problem, but as soon as I get this other one off, nah, he definitely did not clean under there. Let me show you what's going on here. Oh, or did he clean? No, that can be cleaned up a little better than that. I've seen worse, but it can be cleaned up better. But let me show you where the failure was. If the outside's like that, the inside's not far behind. So I guarantee that line failed. Chunks of this crap got in there and blocked it up so it wouldn't return out. I can guarantee it. Now, I'm gonna inspect for cracks on this. If I don't find any, I'm just gonna wing it. There's no grooves in this, and the pedal is not pulsating, so I did not warp them. Let me go ahead and get on the phone here and see what I can get for this. If I'm going to put calipers on it, I'm probably going to just go ahead and buy loaded calipers for it and get new slides too. Hey, just got off the phone with CarQuest. They have loaded calipers in stock, premium pads. He's got to order the lines. They'll be in around 1. There's cores on these, so that'll give me a chance to break this down. I won't video any of this. I'll do a video of it going back together, but really, I just got 2 bolts right here on the back. That comes off. I might do a video showing you how I break the lines loose up there. But this is where we're at. And boy, let me tell you, this stinks, man. This thing got baked. And that's another reason I'm replacing all this, because I could probably flush the line material out of here, but those seals have to be damaged. The amount of heat that was in there, I'm not even going to trust it. I think these are about $100 a piece. It's just not worth it to me. I just want to get it done and not have to deal with it again. Okay, I sprayed both the line connectors with Get It Off Fast Juice. And you can see that this is not a rust belt vehicle. Look, there's still OEM paint on that brake line. I have not broke this loose yet. Look at that. That's just crazy. That's crazy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull each one of these lines off, and I've got a rubber cap to put over the end. I don't want all the fluid to drip out of this, but I am going to replace the master cylinder fluid because it is blacker than coal right now. And when I get around to doing that, basically I'll let this drip down to where it's almost empty. Look at that, came right out. Look at that. That's amazing. And let me get a rubber cap on that. And then there's a clip right here that pops off. And then this line will come loose. And then unbolt the line there. I cannot believe it came off that easy. Well, while I was in here, I decided to tackle something else. This thing had a hard, harsh ride over railroad tracks. You can see it was bottoming out. On a limb, I went, you know, it must be one of these. So, push this one down. Got some good resistance. It's growing. So that's good refractory time. Okay, push this one down here. I don't know. One on the right's moving pretty slow. I'm going to say that one, that's on the verge of being kaput. I would say kaput because it didn't get to the same length that it started. That one's kaput. Okay, the microphone took a crap on me while I was doing something. Battery went dead, whatever. I don't know. But anyways, you get to hear this shitty sound coming from my computer chair here while I'm sitting in my underwear. I'm talking about the importance of keeping those contacts clean when you put the caliper bracket on. You don't want to cock it in there in any way. I'm showing you, man, you got to keep that clean right there. You know, before you put those pad clips on there, those pad slides, you got to make sure that's clean. Putting the first bolts in, yes, I have them nickel anti-seize. I'm in a cold weather belt. This is what you do here. I'm gonna get out the big torque wrench right here. Get the almighty Thor coming in. Zap that down. Click, man. She's down. She's torqued. I don't need to do any harder than that. Then I'm going to find out here real shortly that I have just lost my socket. Well, because I had the wrong size on there. It should have been 21, not a 22, or was that a 21? It should have been a 20. I don't know. Anyways, it was the wrong size. So I'll be looking for that later. And I'm still rambling on about the importance of keeping that clean before you put your slides on for the pads. Well, hopefully the next video clip I got, I had determined that the mic had gone dead and I had put new batteries or recharged the battery, and you don't have to hear this crappy audio anymore. Okay, let's see how it goes. Hey, you old timers are going to remember that stuff. I have a whole case of it. Anyways, I lube the back of this in here. I don't put a lot of it on there, just enough that it'll help stop any of the rust that wants to start to form on this. Don't get it on the rotor. I'm also going to put a little dab on the inside here. I like to do it before I put these on, just to minimize the chance of any of this getting on the rotor itself. These clip in. These clips face to the inside, not to the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and do this to the other three. All right, I've got a dead mic again. I don't know what's going on with this. Buy something from eBay instead of Amazon. It's still the same Chinese crap. Okay, now I'm talking about how I'm putting these pads in here. Look at that, boom, right in, man. That was like a hot dog down the hallway. See, I'm walking around getting another one, throwing it on here. I'm also discussing where the failure mode was in this. You can see those holes there in the pad. And if you go back to the video when I tore this apart, there were some expansion springs missing. That's what caused these pads to bind. They wore unevenly and then cocked in and locked up. These are very simple. They're a 50-cent piece that cost me $300 in repairs. Kudos to that Arkansas mechanic there. Hopefully he gets a little better. He can afford some skirts for his trailer. they kind of are a pain in the ass, so it's probably why he didn't put them in. I struggled, powered through this. I ended up getting them in there, where they stayed. And then once you put the caliper on, that'll hold it all in place and they won't come off. Not sure what I'm doing. Maybe that spring went across the floor. I'm swearing because it's underneath lathe or under the other toolbox. Not sure what I'm doing, but anyways, hopefully in the next video, my microphone's working again because this kind of sucks here. I know audio sucks. Yeah, you're still listening to the shitty microphone. So what I'm talking about now is putting the boots on that caliper bracket, take them off the slide pins, and they'll pop right on there. Look at that. You don't want too much goop on there. If you do, that'll kind of hydro lock it on there, and then it'll cause even more problems down the line. You just lightly lube those. That was the lube that came on them from when I bought them. Grabbing that caliper now somewhere. I'm sure it's not anywhere near the job. Oh, nope. I'm putting springs on. I'm getting back to showing you how the springs go on. Maybe I figured out I needed to put the caliper pins and boots on first. Well, I must. Oh, there it goes. Yep, that crossed the floor. I'm swearing. I don't know where it is. I think I'm going to grab a spare one because some came with loaded caliper kits and some came with the pads, so I have extras. So maybe I can send some down to that guy in Arkansas, and that way he can put them in the next customer's vehicle. Got that. Come on, stay on there. Stay on there. Stay on there. Okay, I think I got it to stay on there now. To get it to stay on there when I go to put the caliper on, that's going to be a whole nother story. Keeping my fingers crossed. Pistons are all the way in. That'll make it easy for me. Got to make sure that those pins are lined up properly. There's flats cut on them that they'll lock up when you go to bolt them to the caliper. Apparently, is it my bottom one that's not right or top one? I don't know. I think it's the bottom one, but I'm going to put the bolt in right there. And where am I? Oh, what am I doing? No, I'm still spinning them around, trying to get them to line up, swearing. You can see where the flats are. So yeah, maybe okay, microphone's still not working, so I'm going to put these on there now, and I just knocked that bottom pin right out of there. Didn't even realize it. Let's see if I can tear that boot. Oh, I found it before I tore the boot. Crap, I got to pull it all back apart again. It's one of those days, it's 6 weeks of this whole shit. Everything goes wrong every day. Everybody, I'm sure we've all had those days, or weeks or months or years. Okay, I'm going to try to get this back on there, and it doesn't want to go on. I got to diddle a little bit with fingers there. Every now and then you have to diddle it to get it to react the way you want it to. Okay, it slid right in. The diddling worked. So now I got to realign that pin, and then slide the caliper in over all of it. Typically, I like to come in on a cocked angle and grab them. Apparently, I decided not to do it that way this time. I just concentrated on the upper one. You got to concentrate on the lower two to get everything to work properly. Things will go smoother if you give everything equal amounts of attention. Looks like I got it on there. So I'm going to put the top bolt in there right now. Of course, I've got my nickel anti-seize on there just to piss off the people that think I should be using Loctite. Got that going, and I'm getting close. I'm going to grab that lower bolt now and get that one started in. I'm not going to use little Thor to put this one together. I'm going to put these together by hand, and I'm not going to bore you with the whole routine of me using a ratchet and putting these on. I seriously doubt you want to look at my elbow for the next in the next 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, then the new line had a bracket on it. Pull this clip off. I decided to use the old bracket just because it's still in good shape. Don't get contaminants in here when you put this in here. It'll only go in one way. And then the clip comes down from the top here. Hope my shoulder's not in the way. Come on. Get it started there. use a center punch. Make sure this is in all the way too when you go to do that. Come on, get on there. Everything's a pain. This job is just not going well for me. There we go. Okay, I've got it started. And then to get it seated the rest of the way, I'm just going to tap it down like that. And I just felt it seat. So, got that in there. I got the line right here. The rubber boot just got pinched in there. Wouldn't you know it? Okay, got the rubber. Yeah, I had that rubber stopper on there to stop it from leaking. It got caught in the bracket. Okay, get this screwed in. Oh, baby. They don't leave you much room in here to do this. I can't get it seated on there. It doesn't want to seat on there. Oh. It's going in. Come on, there we go. Okay, now it's starting to tighten up. You can see I put new shocks on this too while I was in here. Okay, that's good and tight. That's going to be your line for your auto hubs. And then the routing for this. I'm missing, let's see, that's going to go here, here, and here. And that can go, yeah, I'm going to turn it like that. No, it needs to be like that. And then this will go under on this side. So that clips in here. Come on, clip in here. That clips in here. I had to move the clips on the other side. What do I got going on here? The line's upside down. There we go. So I gotta reclip all these. I imagine should have probably have done the line first, huh? There's how that's got to go. Let me go find a bolt for this. Okay. Came with new bolts, putting them in. Put new copper washers on always. I guess if you're in a pinch, you could get away with not putting new copper washers on. I've been letting this drip while I've been doing this to help clear some of the air out of the line before I put it on the caliper. I've found that this is kind of a pain in the ass getting this bolt started, and I don't know why. It actually acts like it's not threaded. It's almost like they have crap in there from remanufacturing this. Yeah, you can see the trouble I'm having. I had the same trouble on the other side. Okay, there it goes. The lines are directional to each side, so you got to have the right line that bumps so you can have access to it. If this line is not doing this, then you've got the wrong line on. Now these you have to tighten up to crush the washers. There we go. So now back to this. Let's see here. That line hooks in up here. These are kind of a pain to clip on. I don't know why. Well, that wasn't pretty easy. So this line is hooked up. Now what I'm going to do, well, why isn't it going on? Now what I'm going to do is I am going to crack the bleeder screw. There is a cap on that little rubber cap that comes off. And I'm going to let this start to drip. So I'm just gravity feeding these right now. And as soon as I get them gravity fed, then I can go in and bleed them. I want to show you something. This unit's going to turn back and forth. This is a potential rub hazard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift all these up so that the sensor wire is not going to interfere with the ball joint nut. And let's see, that's about it. Now I can call up my neighbor and have him help me bleed these. Okay, I just had the neighbor help me. I didn't show you bleeding the brakes. There was a lot of pumping and holding going on, and I'm sure nobody wanted to see that. But what I did do is I ran 2 full bottles of this through it just to get the brake fluid out of there. I ran it down to where the master cylinder was almost empty and then filled it up. Did it twice. Actually, I did it 3 times, more than that. Anyways, got my bleeder tight, put the cap on, stopped dirt from getting in here. I didn't like the way that was routed, so I unplugged the connector and cleaned that up a little bit. And going to put the wheels on and drive the returnable parts back to the parts store. God, I'm glad that job is over. Well, I got this on the way out. A guy from Ashland or Wisconsin, where he works in Ashland, contacted me. He needed a piston for his Nash, so I had to dig through my old shit to find it. Got that found. I'm glad this job is over. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna give that one a try today. This has been a nightmare.